the
Superstars.
guy. When the Hawks have Trae Young.
Well, I mean, look at the teams who have won recently. They all had the superstar
And I
guys
don't know,
around them.
is Julius Randle that guy to bail you out? Welcome back, everybody, to the Targeting Podcast.
Yes, sir.
Boys, it's good to have you back. It's good to have us all back. How you guys
It's good to
doing?
be back.
It's good to be back. I think we're all home. Yep.
I'm sorry.
It's
We're
great to
sorry
be
that
back,
we're sorry we haven't put out an episode in a while. We all had finals last week, and we've been kind of mixed up with scheduling wise. But it's playoff season, baby. So, I mean,
It's playoff season. It almost works out that we waited because now we have all the full brackets on both sides, NHL and NBA, and it's going to be a crazy video. We got a lot to go through.
Lots to go through, so we'll get right into it. Let's do Player of the Week. So I'll start first.
Go ahead.
Steph Curry was mine. I know we've done it like multiple times, or I think Justin's done it like once. I don't know if Julie's done it yet. But at some point we've done Steph Curry as our Player of the Week. I think it's deserved, especially he ended the season, I believe, 32 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists.
He got the scoring title.
He's got the scoring title. A bunch of players around the league have been tweeting out, basically being like, "Hey, like this is the best player in the league. Give him the MVP award." I don't know if he'll get it, just because. I mean, like, I don't know.
I don't think he will, but
it's good to see he's getting recognition at least.
Good to see, and the fact that we're getting a LeBron versus Steph play-in game tomorrow night is actually insane. That's going to be so
amazing.
good.
It's amazing, and I like how Draymond Green was saying too. I'm not a huge fan of Draymond Green, but basically, I guess people are calling the Warriors underdogs. And he's basically like, "Don't call us underdogs. We got Steph on our team," and I agree with him. Like, I mean,
yeah, facts.
Any team with Steph on their team does not deserve to be called underdogs.
The way the Lakers, the Lakers again have not had the best season with injuries and everything like that, and they're in the play-in game right now, and the Warriors have worked from the ground up from like the 10 seed to get up to that play-in game. There's a reason for it. There's a reason for it. So the Lakers can't be coming in this game thinking, "Oh, we got the king." Steph is fucking gas right now.
It's gonna be exciting series. I'm really looking forward to watching it.
Absolutely.
It'll be fun to watch. But I want to get into a lot of the NBA and NHL stuff, so I'll move on. John, do you want to go with your Player of the Week?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Kuch. I'm gonna go with Kucherov. Lightning had a big win against the Panthers, Panthers have had a season this year. Kuch comes out with 2 goals and an assist, and as I was telling Justin before, and Justin brought up, him being back and Stamkos being out there, even just their presence changes the ice. And I think that definitely gives the Lightning a better hope. Honestly, love the Florida game. I'm a little, again, we're going to get into it. I'm a little interested in some of these series in the NHL. Some of them are with the new COVID regulations and the conferences being different. Not as exciting, but I definitely think that there's some good matchups here. So we'll get into that.
Yeah, definitely. I think the NHL playoffs, the way it started, has been insane. It's been like so entertaining to watch. First 3 games, it was first time ever that the opening 3 games all went to overtime. It was the first 4 out of 5 as well. I mean, just so exciting. All 1-goal games, just great hockey. And it's really been so much fun to watch. It's so great to have at least some fans back in every building. And you see, like, Nashville played Carolina in Carolina yesterday, and they had 100% capacity, literally a full house down there in Carolina. And it was absolutely rowdy. It was crazy to see. It was awesome to see that, like, we're moving in that direction. More and more stadiums are going to get more and more full. It's so fun to watch too with fans. It makes such a difference from the bubble hockey last year, and I'm sure it'll be the same in the NBA when we see that start up tomorrow night. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Kyle Palmieri for my Player of the Week because Isles Penn's another one of those becoming quite the rivalry that they're meeting a couple years now in the playoffs, and I don't know, that Islander game was crazy. They were down. They end up coming back and forcing overtime, and then Kyle Palmieri had 2 goals in that game, including the overtime winner. And if you haven't seen it, my goodness, he literally just picks the iron corner. There was like nothing to shoot at. He somehow squeezed a puck in there through his shoulder and head and the post. So Kyle Palmieri, I'm going to go with. And the Islanders ended up taking a big 1-0 lead on the road.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that's awesome. NHL has been really exciting lately. Especially, us being Bruins fans. I know we were all nervous last night. But glad that we got
He
to
came
pull
out.
that. Exactly. But let's move into the NBA. So we're gonna start making predictions. So tonight, we're filming this right now at May 18th. And it's before the Wizards Celtics game. So winner of that, I believe, plays the loser, right?
The winner of the 7-8 will play. Will get the 7. The loser of the 7-8 plays the winner of the 9-10.
Winner of the 9-10, right?
Yeah, that's
which is Hornets Pacers.
I was a little confused on how they were going to go about that.
Yeah.
All right.
So Celtics Wizards, unbiased guys. Do we think we win this game tonight?
No.
Yeah,
I'm saying it right off the bat, and let me say why. Let me just say why. And it's not like I have hope, so it's not going to be like I think that we're just going to absolutely, play like ass. But here's my reasoning. I'm assuming Jalen is out for the season.
Oh yeah, he's out. He's done.
Yep.
He's done. Yeah,
he's done. And that is, it just kills. You know what I mean? We just have one less guy out there that's going to have the ball. And although our chemistry hasn't been good this season, I just think that we need our star team. Second of all, the Wizards are in another situation like the Warriors for me. And I don't think that they're getting enough, attention about it, maybe. And I know Steph won the scoring title, and that's why. And I know that none of us are huge fans of him, but Russ had a season. And I gotta say,
unbelievable.
He redeemed himself for me with the way he finished that season and he finished those months. He redeemed himself for me. I don't know if he listened to this podcast or what, but he finally listened. But you don't sleep on Beal, and I'm not sleeping on Russ right now. And they're working well together. And I'm honestly scared. I don't know how we're gonna go up against Beal, and I don't know what we're gonna do about the Russ situation because those guys are automatic right now. And the Celtics defense, without Jalen on offense and on the court for the defensive side, we're really there's a hole there, and I feel like we're gonna get picked apart all night. And I'm just, I don't know. I'm not as confident as I would have been if Jalen had still been in here. I think that there's still a chance, obviously. I mean, it's Celtics basketball, but I just think this season is pretty much a scrap, in my opinion. I think we really need to focus on the next season. And that's just my opinion because the way it's gone, I don't think we have a huge shot anyways.
Justin, what are your thoughts on this?
I think that the two teams that have come out of the 4, which it's Hornets Pacers is the 9-10. So whoever loses in the Celtic Wizards game, I think will win the next one. So I think it'll be Wizards and Celtics that get the 7 and 8. But who wins tonight? I'm not. I guess honestly, I will go with the Celtics. I feel like Kemba hasn't played in like damn near 10 days now, and when he's coming off rest, he's always got a different bounce to him. So I think Kemba's probably going to play pretty well tonight. Tatum also hasn't played in like 6 days now, 5 days. So everyone's going to be pretty well rested. But the Wizards have had to play into their year here, and they were playing all the way up to the last game, whereas we were sitting guys against the Knicks and stuff. So I think we'll be pretty fresh. I think we do win tonight, and then the Wizards go on and beat the Hornets because I think the Hornets will beat the Pacers. But a win tonight just means that we get Brooklyn, and we'll go into that. But, I mean, that's just going to be a sweep most likely. So what do you think, Jerry?
Yeah, I actually do think we win this game tonight, but in a sense, I don't want us to win this game tonight because I feel like
then if we didn't, we'd get Philly. If we lost tonight and won, and then
if we won, so we lost tonight and we won, then we would get Philly. And I feel like
the question: who do you think, Philly or Brooklyn? That's I think
I'd rather Philly for sure.
I'd rather Philly, 100%. I know Phil. So here's the thing: I know Philly's they're the 1 seed, right? So I know they're the 1 seed, but I don't think maybe the last game the Nets just played, but I don't know if they've had every single guy that they have played.
The Nets?
Yes.
They basically haven't. Yeah. So
but I think maybe the last game they might have had Harden, Katie, and
I think they might have.
The last game. But besides that, so we haven't seen that. So for 7 games, all that, including Blake Griffin, I know LaMarcus Aldridge is not out, but he was irrelevant. But like we haven't seen that for 7 games. And like the fact of the matter is we don't have the players on our team to guard all those positions, not to the level we need to. So,
but Jalen especially.
Philly, we got Embiid to worry about, Simmons to worry about, and Tobias Harris, etc. We have other guys to worry about on that team too, but that's kind of like the main 3 I'm also worried about. One more thing I will point out is Doc struggles in the playoffs. We noticed this before. So I'd rather bet on somebody who doesn't have a great past than 3 guys who are definitely going to kick our ass. At least, like, for me, at least, and then I'll let you guys talk. I think that we might even have maybe not a chance to beat the Sixers, but that's a series I'm like, all right, we can take that to 6-7 games. The Nets, I'm like, oh, we get a game, maybe. Not even. Like, it's one of those series where I'm like, it's already done for me. So I feel like, in a way, I'm like, oh, I want the Celtics to win tonight because it's like, oh, we beat the Wizards. Another way, it's like, are we just like beating our way to an early death? Like, I just feel like, and again, we're gonna have to face the Nets sometime, but I just don't think we're gonna ever.
I also don't think if we lose tonight that the next game would be a guarantee either, because I'm still scared.
The Hornets will be hooping.
Oh yeah, it's not
I'm still scared, and even if we play, I'd be a little less scared about the Pacers compared to the Hornets, but still, I'd be still concerned with the way the Celtics have played this year against any team we play. That's just, I'd be scared if we played the fucking Pistons, and that's sad. That's sad.
I'd rather
thing that kills is Jalen. Again, the injuries have just not been helpful.
I mean, it's ruined the Celtics year. We haven't been healthy all year. It's just so tough. I mean, it's like you said right at the beginning, like, it doesn't matter because we're not going anywhere this year. It's just a reality.
It's not our year. It's a reality. We cannot sustain a championship run without one of our big 3. That's just not how we can play it.
So that's what I'm wondering. I'm like, is this like a thing where, like, do we just want an early death? Do we just want to lose the next 2 games and then I don't have to deal with any shit that happens in the playoffs? Or do I just want to see like us give Philly like a run for their money? And I don't know yet what I want. I actually want to see tonight's game, because if we play like shit and we win, I'm gonna be like, kill me now. Like, I'm not gonna want to.
Yeah, I'll say if we scrap together a win and it's a scrappy win, I think that I just want a quick death. But I'll say that if tonight we play our hearts out and like I can see something coming together with Kemba and Jason, maybe being able to lead a team without Jalen, which is a very big if. Not that they couldn't do it, but just 2 guys, then I think that I would be somewhat excited to at least see him give some heart against like the Brooklyn Nets or whoever we end up playing. It's just this season's been a heartbreak. It's just that's just the reality of it.
Yeah. We'll move on, but like the last thing I'll say is, Justin said it multiple times too. You see the Celtics win games this season where you're like, we should have not won that game. We were just flat out talented a team, but we were in no way better than, like, we didn't play better than the other team. So if that's going to happen, I don't want to see that. But if we play better, then that's fine. I'll accept wins like that. But if we're just like, even if Tatum goes off tonight, in my opinion, you guys might not agree with this, like, goes off and we still didn't play that well, like, I'm still going to be like,
well, it'll be cool to see. So like, I'd rather us make it. And even if it means we get swept, it'd be cool to see, just get these guys another year more of experience in a series.
True.
I don't know, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. What are you guys thinking on? Are you guys kind of dead set on the Charlotte Indiana matchup, or do you guys have?
I think Charlotte's going to win right now. The Pacers are winning. I've been checking, but
no Karis LeVert. Keep in mind, he got this morning. It was ruled that he's out with COVID for 14 days, so they're done with Karis LeVert. So that's going to be tough. And they're actually killing the Hornets right now. They're up 42-24 early in that game.
Oh, yeah. But you know what? I think honestly, I'm not going to be so. Again, I think that's a very, very tight matchup. Just overall, just 2 very skilled teams. They've both had the same type of season, just very high up on the standings, and then they fell down a little bit with the way things have gone this year. I personally want the Hornets. I just love the way LaMelo has been balling, and I just think that the Hornets are so deserving of it this year. But again, you look at the score right now, and it doesn't seem like that. But either way, it's not a matchup that I'm entirely concerned about 100%. But I prefer the Hornets overall. Just love
Do you guys want to move into Eastern matchups? So like we can
Yeah.
So why don't we do that? So 7 seed. Are we thinking Celts?
Sure, we'll call it that.
I'll go with you guys and even it out.
We'll call it Celts. And then that 8 seed, do you want to call Charlotte?
We'll call Charlotte for now.
Or we'll call it Charlotte for now. So we'll go Philly, Charlotte.
Okay.
I think that's a lock. I think it's Philly. I mean, I don't know how.
I agree. Even if it ends up being Washington,
whoever or
the Wizards.
Whoever. I don't think any team. I'll be honest. I think of the 3 teams that are, or the 2 teams, sorry, that would come out of the matchup there. I personally think that Washington, if they ended up having to play the Hornets, maybe have a chance. But regardless, I think that the teams that have the best chance against the 76ers or the Hornets are the Wizards, in my opinion. If it's the Pacers who end up going there, I think they'll get wiped. And I think personally, I honestly would like to see Washington play the 76ers. I don't know. I feel like Russ. I don't know. I would be down to see it too. I'd love to see Beal and Russ.
Be better off than the
I feel
Hornets.
like they might be stronger than the Hornets this year with that. Just the way they've been finishing it off strong. The
Who's going to guard
story.
Embiid?
I know. I just feel like.
I mean, nobody. Yep, it's Alex Len and it's Robin Lopez down there.
That series, and you may disagree, but that series, if it was Wizards and 76ers, is just going to be all offense. Who can?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will it cut out for you?
Yeah, he just cut out. But,
oh my god! It said soon kick me out. Sorry.
All good.
I was just saying that I think it's going to be an all offense.
Yeah, offensive game.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, I don't think anything. I don't think defense will.
But I think regardless, 76ers will, no matter how many games they go in that series, will come out stronger.
Yeah, agree.
I think the same with the 2 series with Brooklyn too. No matter who it is, I think they both get out, no doubt.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's going to be the case for the Celtics.
All right,
I think the Nets would at most give away 6. Like it'd be only 6 games.
Yeah,
wouldn't even be able to get one.
Right.
Heat versus Bucks is a great one because they played last year in the bubble and the Heat swept the Bucks, which was just ridiculous. So the Bucks, I'm sure, want their have blood in the water in that matchup. I don't know. I feel like that could be a really good one. Actually, now that I've been seeing the Heat playing really well lately,
they have been, playing
and they're
really
healthy
well.
too. Well, except for Victor Oladipo, which. Man, weird. It was a weird thing that he ended up in Miami and now he's just done for the year. And we might not even play all of next year, too.
Yeah.
So my whole thing with that is, had Oladipo been completely healthy for this series.
But I think the identity of the Heat isn't even with Oladipo. Honestly, that doesn't even fade. I feel like they know what they're doing. He was really never a part of that.
And I agree. It's just, this is a matchup where, again, you brought it up. They faced off last year. And I honestly felt that it was just, again, I thought the Bucks might have had a better chance, but
I think the series goes to 7, and I think the Heat take it. I think
you do. You think the Heat take it?
You think their experience against them prior is going to help?
They got playoff Jimmy.
And Giannis is always a bitch in these playoff series. So he used to guard the best player.
So here's my thing with that.
He always chokes.
I think it goes to 7 because I think the Bucks are going to want revenge. I don't think Bucks let this series go to a sweep, or at least I hope not. That would look really bad on them. But I think they get it to a spot where it's like 2-2, and then I think I don't know, the Heat will take one, and then the Bucks will take one. I think this goes to Game 7. I realize the Bucks are the higher seed, so that would mean that the Miami has to win Game 7 on the road.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe in playoff Jimmy. I don't think last season was a fluke. I do think there was something weird going on. There was weird vibes last season, but I feel like
they still were strong though.
That's still a good Heat team, unless Giannis wants to man the fuck up and guard Jimmy or guard someone like. I just don't see them lose.
He was guarding Iguodala. Like, what are you doing, Giannis?
So, unless he wants to man up and start playing defense at the capability, he definitely can. Bucks could have swept them. I thought I made a prediction last season that the Bucks were going to sweep the Heat. I thought there was no way. Maybe 3, maybe 4-1, but not 4-0.
I was not very high on the Heat either last year. That came out of nowhere to me.
That came out of
And
nowhere.
I don't think any of us were high on it because I think we finally thought that, okay, maybe the Bucks are going to shape up. Giannis is going to finally do the job that he's got to fucking do.
Well, yeah, and he weren't playing well. Like, Bam wasn't Bam. Like, Bam all of a sudden started playing like he did in college. Like, he was just like crazy. And then same thing with Hero. Same thing with Duncan Robinson, and Jimmy Butler went nuts. So now that we all know what they are, I still think that series does go to 7 and that the Heat take it. I don't know, Justin, what are your thoughts on that?
No, I think it's not a bad take. I think it goes 6 or 7, but I think the Bucks win it. Even if it does go 7, I think it'll go 6 or 7. But if it goes 7, I think that the Bucks take it no matter what. I don't think they're going to make that mistake again. Giannis they have Drew Holiday now. They have who's a big upgrade from Eric Bledsoe.
That is true.
I think it's going to be a great series, though. It's going to be real fun to watch.
I can't wait to watch it. It's going to be awesome.
I'm contested here because I know that the Bucks shouldn't make that mistake again, but I don't have strong. The only thing that really makes me feel stronger there is when you just mentioned Drew, and that's big. That's the big change there for the Milwaukee, as they now got another piece there. But I think without Drew, that Giannis would make the other mistake again. But I'm hoping that Drew can possibly just get in his fucking head and tell him how he's got to actually play the game out there. I think it will go 7. I think both teams are going to have that heart in them to take it to 7. And you know what? With the capacity now that we have with fans, I don't think Milwaukee loses in their game 7. I want the Heat to win, Jerry, but I just don't think now, if you have fans in the building, that Milwaukee is going to let up that. And if they do,
that will play more of a factor this season. That's why I said that it would require Miami winning a road game 7, which we all know.
And that definitely is not an easy task for them. Again, we're in a big series game, and it's going to come down to the wire. Offense, defense are going to have to be strong. So,
what about the Knicks-Hawks series? What are you guys thinking for that?
Another great one, and I'm glad these two ended up getting matched up.
I'm going to go Knicks instantly. I love the way that fucking Julius Randle's been playing. I know the Knicks haven't been here since 13, and you can't discount the Hawks. And I'm not going to say it's going to be a sweep, but I don't know. Tibbs has got something going on here. These guys are just a team that blend. There's no superstars. I don't know how the Hawks are going to approach it because Julius isn't a superstar who you've got to guard. They just get shit done. They just move well together. I'm going to be excited to see how they fare. I don't know if necessarily, I think they obviously need some time to still, get a playoff mentality in them. But I definitely am not going to discount Julius Randle taking his team to this area.
Yeah, I don't want to be the guy that bet against them. I don't want to be.
You don't.
They got to shoot down the Knicks, but I'm going to go with the upset. I'm going to take Atlanta. I think Trae Young. I could see Trae Young having one of these young Steph Curry series years where you just put for one series puts on a show where we all look at Trae and say, all right, this guy maybe can't be the number one option on a legit playoff team. And it's his first go at the playoffs. I think Trae Young's going to explode. Opening 2 at MSG, he's going to be feeling it. He's going to be ready to put on a show, and I think he is going to do just that. I think it goes 7. I love these two teams playing against each other. I've watched them multiple times in their matchups this year, and it was always such entertaining games. This is a hell of a series. But I mean, like I said, I love what the Knicks are doing too. I don't want to be the guy that bet against them, but I got to take Atlanta.
I don't think they'll lose at home because they're going to have the home court on.
I know they will. But you know how MSG is sometimes. As home court as it is, everybody who plays in MSG is always ready for a big game.
Yeah, that's true.
The only thing that's worrying me about the Knicks is I'm worried that they could be a regular season team. That's the only thing I'm worried.
I think that's always a concern for it.
We know that, playoffs are different than regular season, and usually there's not a huge difference between how players play in the regular season as opposed to playoffs, except for Rondo and people like that. But I think that if the Hawks, like Justin was saying, Trae Young could have one of those breakout series where he just goes off the entire series. I don't know if Julius Randle's that guy. He's a great player. Don't get me wrong. Love the season he's having. But I don't know if he's that type of guy to have a crazy playoff breakout. And I'm also worried that the Knicks were just a really good regular season team. Not that this doesn't go to 6 or 7. I do think this goes to the wire.
Can they just finish it up in clutch time?
It's just, can they finish it up? Can they get, I don't know. Chemistry's gone a long way for them. And I'm not saying that doesn't have its value. Definitely does. But you have seen that it does help to have
Superstars.
the guy. When the Hawks have Trae Young.
Well, I mean, look at the teams who have won recently. They all had the superstar.
And I don't know, is Julius Randle that guy to bail you out? I don't know. We'll find out.
I definitely
will find out.
That's definitely the series, one of them that I'm most excited to see.
Same, especially first round in the East.
Yeah,
seeing that go against each other is going to be fun to watch. And honestly, again, I'm thinking about it now. It's Trae Young in the playoffs, and that we know he's going to ball. It's just, again, he's going to be up against a tough Knicks team.
I think whichever team comes out of the series, they'll have to be playing so well that everybody will be talking up. It'll be fun to see them go against the 76ers in the next round. That's like whichever one of these teams is playing well enough to win that series. It's not going to be easy to take down for Philly, so it'll be a harder matchup for them coming second round.
100%.
What are you guys thinking for?
You got to go 8-10 play-in out there. I mean, 8-9 play-in. Or sorry, 7-8. Jesus.
Yeah.
7-8. Lakers, Warriors. How is this a play-in game, first of all? LeBron versus Steph in the play-in. That's crazy.
If you told somebody 5 years ago, mainly me, but no, anyone who watches
anyone.
LeBron and Steph.
LeBron James is going to be on the Los Angeles Lakers, and he's going to face Steph Curry in a play-in that didn't even existed before last season. He's going to play in a play-in game, and that will decide basically who goes home. Or no, the loser will get to go play another game. But nonetheless, like,
let me tell you what, too.
One game. Go ahead.
Give me Steph in the first game.
Give me
Lakers definitely win the second one, but give me Steph in the first one.
Let me say this.
How do you bet against LeBron and AD? That's my question.
Let me say this. I think regardless of this game, we both agree that the two teams that are going to win in this series and that are going to get the 7 and 8 seed are the Lakers and the Warriors. I don't think that the Grizzlies or the Spurs are beating out whoever wins that. I don't think they're beating out the team that goes to face them in that losing.
I would love to see the Grizzlies in the playoffs. Sorry, I just had to get off my chest.
No,
I mean, I would too, but
I don't think that. I don't think that that's going to happen. I think that we're going to have Lakers or Warriors playing either the Suns or the Jazz, and that's just how it's going to go. Now,
wait, go ahead, John.
I'm sorry. I'm just with Justin. I want to ask Justin a question. Is with the absence of Clay, do you think that the Warriors in this, do you think that now with, the betting against LeBron AD, you think that now they're, the Lakers, just.
So I definitely, it would be great to have if they had Clay, but they are ready to go. You say, how can you bet against LeBron and AD? I get that, but AD has not had a good year, and LeBron's been injured for like 2 months now almost. I think they're vulnerable, and this is just a one-hitter. They'll still get into their own playoff series, and that'll be a whole separate thing, whether it is Utah or Phoenix. Obviously, brutal for Utah and Phoenix that they've gotten the 1 and 2 seeds in the West and end up with Steph and LeBron or whichever one they get. Like, oh my god,
yeah.
Especially LeBron.
It's not a win-win for either of them. They really are getting
no.
You've worked hard all season. You get the 1 seed, and guess who you're gonna face? Fucking LeBron or Curry. That's so bad. Yeah.
I think honestly,
they beat them with LeBron and AD in the regular season. They got Draymond and Wiggs, 2 great defenders to throw at those two. I'm liking it.
Honestly, I think Golden State wins this.
Here's the thing. I'm not saying it's impossible. I will say that. Like if they do it, then they do it. I don't think that's impossible. I definitely think that's realistic. But I don't know. I think that would be a pretty big bitch slap to LeBron if he lost to Curry.
That would be so great. Oh, I'd love to see that.
And I know you would love to see it, but I don't think it happens. I think AD and LeBron will play well. I think the Lakers' overall roster is fine. They will match up pretty well against the Warriors. I think now I've said this before, but obviously it doesn't matter because Curry's Curry and Warriors are the Warriors. But when you rely on 3 guys, I don't know. The Lakers find out ways to make it work, is what I'm saying. LeBron doesn't always have to be the main guy. AD doesn't even always have to be the main guy. They have other people on that team that can really make a difference. So I don't know if for the Warriors, if that happens. But Curry's on the team. And when Curry's on the team, you can't count them out.
For the sake of deciding seedings here and moving on to the next,
Well, we'll go Lakers, Warriors. Let's put one of them where.
Right. Well, no, I'm saying is let's just. I say let's put Lakers. We'll
put Lakers at. I'll put Lakers at 8, and I'll put Warriors at 7. Yeah. So Utah, Lakers. Do we think Utah wins that series?
I think regardless of who they play, Lakers or Steph. The problem that the Jazz face, and this is the big problem here, is we discussed this, that the Jazz are a team who now have the 1 seed, and I'm interested to see how they fare in the playoffs after having a strong regular season. Can they play in the clutch time? And they don't have Donovan right now. So,
this is just crazy though, because they're the 1 seed and they get LeBron in the first round. That's so brutal. If that happens.
Here's the thing: is that LeBron and Steph have both been here. They've both been here. And the one thing is that I think LeBron and Steph, honestly, no matter what seed they are, I think they come into these games. If you just heard this game, I think you immediately think, the Lakers are the 1 seed, the Jazz are the 7 seed, or the 8 seed. These guys are not coming in here thinking of the underdogs. Is my big takeaway.
I think the craziest thing about this season is the amount, because I saw something where it was like look how much the NBA switched, because just on the Eastern, let's look alone at the Eastern Conference side. So the top teams are Philly, Brooklyn, and then it's Bucks, Knicks. I think it was something like 5 years ago. That was the bottom of the Eastern Conference.
I know. I saw that too.
Did you see that?
Literally, the mirror image switched.
And it's the same thing with the Western Conference. The Lakers are the 8 seed. The Warriors are the 7, and you're telling me the Phoenix Suns and Utah Jazz are top of the league? That is,
I know,
insane. But
it's crazy.
Regardless, I don't think Utah wins that series, unless LeBron doesn't fully recover from his injury, which I don't think he has really yet. But I would be not shocked, but mildly surprised if Utah could. I think it goes to 6 or 7, but I would be mildly shocked if LeBron and AD let up against Utah in the playoffs.
I feel like it's going 7 as well, but I'm gonna take Utah.
I'm gonna take Utah. Although here's my reasoning for I'm gonna take Utah as well. And although they don't have Donovan, we discussed this. The fact that the Jazz
wait. Do they not have Donovan back for game 1 though? Does anyone know? Let me look it up.
I thought I heard that he may not be back for game 1. I don't know yet, though.
That would be so unfortunate.
Can you look that up real quick? But,
yeah.
Regardless of the Donovan thing, my point is, whether they have Donovan back or not, the way that the Jazz played without him towards the end of the season shows that the Jazz didn't need him to solidify that 1 seed. And I know that regular season is very different, but yeah, I still think that the Jazz can hold their own defensively with
expected to play in the first round. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. So he's expected. Okay.
That's huge.
So now here's my big point now. I'm
excited for that. Then.
I think Donovan, playoff Donovan coming in here to try and ball out, and now you got Gobzilla, who's been amazing. I think
Gobzilla.
I love that. I think defensively, I'm not concerned about the Jazz. It's just whether they can produce against a team that's been here, and if they can last a 7-game series against the Lakers team or Warriors, whichever one they end up playing, we're going to assume Lakers. Again, it's AD and LeBron. They've been here before. They've won it. They're strong. I'm just going to take Utah. I don't want to be the guy that says that they're not going to win, because I feel like they'll shock us. That's just, I don't want to be voting against them. And I think they have a better chance than Knicks in that regard with the whole shocking us. That's just my opinion. I feel like they have a.
Do you guys think the Suns any chance lose to the Warriors? Because I definitely think there's a shot for the Warriors to win that series.
I think so too. I think they probably have a better chance at the Suns than at the Jazz, the Warriors. So they would probably have a lot of reason to win this first one. Anyways, but I don't think I think the Suns are just too good. I think the same thing with the Jazz. The Lakers aren't the 8 seed I get that there's been a ton of injuries and stuff, and they really haven't played healthy all year. Drummond has not really gotten to even play at the same time as LeBron and AD very much at all yet either. But it's not their year. It really isn't their year. You can't possibly look at that team and say it's their year. I think the Jazz get out of it, whichever it is, Suns, Jazz, whoever the Lakers play. I think they probably get bounced in the first round. The fact that they've fallen all the way into this play-in, they would have obviously had a chance against the middle four because that's a different tier team with Denver and Dallas and Portland. Yeah. But the fact that they let themselves fall this far and are getting a top 2 in Jazz and Suns, those teams are too good. I don't think they beat them, no matter if they end up 7 or 8. I think probably the same with the Warriors.
That's a fair point.
The Lakers were. Here's another thing: is that the Lakers were they were a 5 seed almost going in the last week. I think they nearly were close to having the 5 seed, or in the last couple of weeks, and they just kept falling 7 seed. And the thing that I love is that how the Warriors and Wizards have gotten up to this playing spot. I think we were all excited and looking ahead to see if that could possibly be a contender there, and I'm excited about it. I'm proud of both those guys for coming up from the bottom.
Me too.
Literally in the gutters, and honestly, I'm rooting for them. I honestly think the Warriors do. I think the Warriors have a better chance against the Suns than the Lakers against the Jazz. That's my opinion. Just with Steph, the way he plays.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And I think nothing against Steph again, but now
actually, I don't know if I don't know if I agree with that. It's a good point though.
I just, I don't know. I'm on the Steph train right now with you. You got me on the Steph train, and
I'm glad I got you on board.
And I'm loving it. And I've never not been a fan. I got you on board. Now I'm more on this. What'd you say?
Justin's like, I'm glad I got you on board, but now you need to hop off.
No, but I think definitely not having Clay is going to hurt. I think we always predicted that. I'm interested to see if Steph can lead a team through not just game by game, but through a 7-game series. And I don't think it's not possible. It's just that now you're facing a Suns team who's, you can't discount them. They've had a season. They've had a strong season. I'm gonna go with the Suns at the end of the day, but again, this Western Conference, it's just, all these matchups are just going to be great to watch. Is my point.
It really is.
Let's get to these last 2 matchups because I want to cover NHL if that's okay with you boys.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's get to it.
Well, let's go Denver, Portland. So I'm really excited for this series. I don't know about you boys. I know Jamal Murray. I know Jamal's not playing, but
Jokic with
Dame time. I always love Dame time.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this one too.
I'm very conflicted here because Jokic is one of my favorite big men, and Dame is one of my favorite shooters here. But
Portland and 6.
Portland and 6. I like the call. I'm definitely taking Portland. No doubt. I could see 6. Yeah, I like 6 as well. I think because I don't know. I think this is going to be one of those series where, Jokic is going to dominate. It's just what he does, and especially because he's going to have Nurkic and Kanter, who are not particularly good defenders at the big spots. But I just don't think that there's any possible way that the Denver guards on that roster will be able to keep up with the Portland guards in any way, shape, or form. I really don't. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to throw Will Barton and Michael Porter Jr. on the 2 on Dame and CJ. I don't know what they put on them, but it's not going to be good. They don't have Gary Harris anymore, who was the Dame guarder in those series before. I don't know. I'll take Portland for sure. I think Dame is just going to go nuts, and CJ's playing so well as well right now. So
I think. Go ahead, John.
I was just saying Portland has been playing good. I think had Jamal been able and available for this season, or for the series, sorry, I would give Denver a game 7, but I think it's Dame time, and I just think that Portland's been playing so well lately. And I don't know. I see it. This is the 1-6-3 more so than the Heat Bucks, where I see the 6 coming out on top on it.
Low key though, if I think that if it goes to 7, I think Denver has a shot. That's where I'm kind of drawing the line on the series.
Really? Okay.
Where if Portland has it by game 6, they're 3-2. Damian Lillard's not going to lose on his home floor. Same thing with Jokic, though. If it's game 7 at Denver, I don't think Jokic loses on his home floor.
So you think that whoever's in that home advantage is going to take it?
I think it automatically goes 2-2. There's no doubt about that. I think if Portland wins game 5, no way they lose game 6. If Denver wins game 5, I still think that the Portland will win game 6. I don't think Denver loses game 7 at their place.
I could get on board with that. I can see that. I can see your mentality there with the home court advantage being clutch in here with Jokic and Dame both being clutch time on their home courts. I can see that.
I don't know. I
don't know about you, Justin. I still think I'm still rooting for Dame.
I'm taking Dame time no matter what.
I'm gonna take Dame. But I see your point there, Jerry. And
I don't know. He had a crazy game winner in Chicago, but prior to that, I believe it's all been at Portland, especially in the playoffs.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you're right.
I mean, yeah, he's had plenty of Dame time moments this year alone, on the road included. But you're right. I mean, you're right. I think that's a good point, but I'll still take my guy Dame time over, and that's what I think what you said earlier too about it's not going 7. Dame is going to cinch that series off in 6. That's not touching the 7th game, and that's going to be in Portland. Good night, Irene, to Denver.
And then
Dallas.
I was just gonna say I'd even give it a Dame in 5.
Honestly,
Dame will try and cinch that thing up. If they can dominate them at the away court, Jerry, I think 5 could be very easily feasible. But yeah, Dallas Clippers. What are we thinking?
Are you low key?
I know who you're gonna pick, Jerry. I feel like you're big on Luka.
I'm taking the Clippers in 6.
I take Dallas.
You're taking Mavs. He's taking the Mavs.
Dallas in 6.
All right. I like it. I think my biggest thing is that I can't take Dallas in a playoff series until something changes about that roster. I like that team a lot. Luka's obviously carried them back-to-back years now to playoff appearances where they're going to win games in this series, no doubt. But Porzingis as just the lone second option and then just a steep drop-off until 3, that's not a roster that I like the format of. I still can't really get on board with that roster as much as I can get on board with Luka as a player, but I'll still take the Clippers. I think the Clippers are on something special this year. They might be my pick to win the West this year, to be honest. That might be a hot take, but I think I might take them to win the West.
I be strong with that one because honestly,
yeah,
I can totally see it happening. And if you're right on that, then I'm gonna give you kudos at the end of the season.
Yeah, I think that is my take to win the West and then lose to the Nets out of the East. But yeah,
I think my biggest. Go ahead, John.
I just haven't picked yet. I think I'm gonna hop on with Justin on Clippers in 6. I don't know. I'm not as big on Luka as you are, Jerry, and it's not that I don't think he's capable. I just
and the Mavs' 2 wins in the series might both be step back winners at the buzzer. So who knows?
That's fair. I don't know. I think for me, for that series is so obviously Kawhi has gotten a ring and has a championship, and I'm not doubting.
He's done it multiple times in different places, Finals MVPs.
Whatever. I'm not doubting that, but
he's kind of where there. But
I'm not doubting that, but I think that Mavs have been here. Luka's been to a playoff before, and I think he's starting to get kind of like, like right away when players enter the league, they're not like LeBron or anything where they can just come into the playoffs and dominate.
Yeah.
So
although he pretty much did last year, though, but still,
last year was a special season, though.
Yeah, it was. You're right.
In terms of circumstances and gameplay and anyways, I just Luka and KP. I believe them together. I do agree with you on the drop off. That could hurt. That will hurt. Not could. That will hurt them this series, and that's why I'm not saying Luka's going winning in 4. I definitely think it takes still 6 or 7, but I'm gonna go with my boy Luka. I believe in him, and I think that as of last season, if the Clippers made it farther last season, and I know that was a special case because we had Doc and we had a bunch of, I think there were locker room issues too, but I could be wrong. If I saw that team go farther last season, I might change my mind this season. But
that's like helping me make this take too, is the fact that they got bounced so early. I think they're must be more fueled than ever, more ready to go, more ready to prove haters wrong.
Well, I can see that too. So
new coach, new feel out there.
Plus, they're coming in. They're coming in as a team that is not a favorite team. So I think that makes all the difference in the world. Sometimes is whether you're like nobody's expecting them to come in and be a championship team this year, really, when you really think about it. So I think that helps to be a little bit more of an underdog in the grand scheme of things, rather than like the favorite. There's so much pressure that they had to be so good last year to lose the way they did was such a huge bust. Whereas this year, like, they could lose this series, and I don't think anyone would be like tearing on them as hard as they were for last year's loss. So I think just being a little bit more of an underdog helps them.
That's fair. That's definitely fair.
We get into NHL a little bit.
NHL.
Get a little NHL, boys. So
let's get it.
Let's go over the Bruins.
Let's start with Bruins. So Bruins Caps. So right now it's 1-1, and we're headed to home. Home
ice, baby, back in the
which is huge. Let's just say the Bees at home are huge always.
I mean, what else? What can you say? All you can do is split. It's all you can do when you're on the road. You're starting on the road. That's all you can do is split, and that's what we did. And we forced overtime in game 1 too. So I think it's been a success so far. I've been happy with what I've seen. Rask looks pretty good. I know last game, that's been a big thing. Like, how good was Rask going to be? Are we going to have to be putting in Swayman / Halak at times? Rask looks good. I know yesterday he had 2 softies, but he didn't see either of them. And the pucks that he's seen, he's made really good saves on. He's been really alert. He's been playing.
He's only done poor against those tip-ins, and
yeah. I mean, if you can't see it, you can't ask him to save it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he's been great. He's been great, and it's been a hell of a hockey series, man. I mean, wow, it's been such good hockey. Across the entire NHL, this playoffs has been such high caliber hockey. It's so much fun to watch, but huge win to get back in that one yesterday. And
I'll say honestly,
tie it up.
I think the one of the closer series is going to be the Caps and Bruins. And
I think the East is almost undoubtedly the best division in the league.
It's the strongest at the moment. I have high hopes for the Bees going to the home court, and if we could win both those games, knock on wood, we'll take a 3-1 lead. And we'll have to go back to the Caps, obviously, but if we could split the Caps, I feel like if we could split the Caps again, which we've been able to do, then the Bees have a high hope here. And Halsey being on the team and coming in clutch this year towards the end of the season, I honestly think, and I was talking to someone about this today, Halsey for Anders was just a huge pickup for us. I mean, I don't think people realize just like, obviously Anders was a great player for us, but Halsey has just been producing. I think that was probably the best pickup in a while.
Yeah. Oh, unbelievable job to get Taylor Hall there.
Best pickup in a while. And, I honestly,
so good.
Whoever did it, I don't really want to give Don Sweeney credit, but whoever did it, great job.
I know.
I have high hopes for the Bees. This is, again, a tough one. We have Char on the cap, so obviously this is a tough one that hits home. But at the end of the day,
I've been relatively pleased with the play. I think that Justin, you make a good point. I was a little worried about how Rask would perform in the series too. But the goals he's let in, there weren't like most of them. There weren't goals where I was like, all right, like that was definitely his fault. It was just ones he didn't see. And I thought they were overall just good plays made by the Caps. I don't think it was anything that had to do with us. So I'm hopeful for us in the series. I think we take the next 2 at home. I don't know if it's like blowouts. I don't know if it goes.
I don't think it will be. Yeah, I don't think it will be.
I think that home ice advantage will be good for us. And I'm hopeful for the next few games.
This is such a high caliber series. I don't think it will end up being like this. But I won't be surprised if it ends up coming to an OT each of these games, or if it comes to, final 5 minutes of each of these games. That's how they've been playing. And that's honestly great hockey already. As much as, obviously you want the Bees to be taking the lead, that's just not how it's going to be. And the Bees know that. You're playing a Capitals team who's the 2 seed, who plays 60 minutes. They play the full minutes of hockey. They play all those minutes. They don't let up. And the Bees need to learn that too. And I like how Halsey has that mentality, and he goes out there and does the exact same thing. So no bad.
Definitely. Right. I think even the next thing we could do is just even get that top line more involved than they even have been so far. I know Bergeron has a goal, but they could still get going. They could still get going on a different gear and produce definitely at a higher level. And then once they get going, that continuation of production from the second line with Hall and Krejci and Craig Smith is unbelievable, and it's been so great to see. It makes our entire team so much better. Charlie Coyle had an unbelievable game on the third line yesterday. I mean, these guys, I love the roster. I love the team. Not to I don't want to jinx anything, but I mean, I'm feeling really good about this team this year. So hopefully everything can keep going well.
Knock on wood. But yeah, I agree with you. I love the Krejci line being very productive for us. It makes us look great. I do agree with you, though. I see a lot of big assist plays from that top line, and these, Pasti just, a couple of, he's had, I think just 2 assists in these last 2 games. Again, those stats won't show, the effort he puts on that ice, but I definitely want to see the first line we saw against, the Maple Leafs and Carolina, and it just absolutely dominating, absolutely puck control, and just Bergie, Marshy, and Pasta having a time out there, because at the end of the day, when we start facing some of these tougher teams as we move forward, if we do, knock on wood, that's the line that we're really, the second line will help, but we need that first line. That's why we have that line.
Yeah, and I should say Bergeron had a goal in the last game, but
he did have a goal.
Marchand had a fucking
and Marchand had a goal. Marchand had a goal. So again, they have been.
They're playing well. But it just feels like they could dominate even that a little bit more. Yeah.
That extra % there. Starting now, and we can move.
Why don't we move forward to Penn's Islanders?
Yeah, they're playing right now. Actually, they just started, so we'll probably catch that game in a little while.
That's also been an incredible series. These 2 series might be the best in the NHL. The 2 out east.
Let me just go ahead and say real quick. I'm not going to shit on Tristan here, but I had high hopes for the Islanders. They did finish, and I'm glad they end up making the playoffs. I thought they had a good team this season. I actually had a higher hope for them. I thought they would take a 2 seed or a 3 seed. So I think they fell down a little bit, and the Bees took care of them in the regular season and definitely helped with that. I honestly am going to give a huge amount of credit to the Pens. I didn't think the Pens were going to have this type of season. I didn't think the Pens were going to finish 1. I thought the Caps and the Islanders and the Bruins even would just, and the Pens surprised us. They came at the Bruins too,
especially in a year where Malkin has missed a lot of the season.
Yeah,
yep. They're still taking the 1 seed, which is pretty impressive. Crosby's had an incredible year. He had an incredible goal in that game 1 too, where he was literally not even facing the play, was outside of the slot and reached to stick in with one hand and tipped in a goal from the point, a slapper from the point with one hand on a stick off the backhand. It was incredible. Textbook Crosby. He's just so dominant. He plays so many minutes. He's always out there. He's always being a pest. He's always getting at you. He's making every single correct play. You make a mistake, he will capitalize on you. It is fun to watch him. He is so good.
So let me ask, Jerry, you go.
He is scary, man. Like when you watch him play, you're like, that guy's a threat anytime. I remember I was watching a play, and I forget who it was against, but he lost control for the puck for a minute, because the guy was like draped all over him, threw him off him, and then just took it back and
I know exactly the play you're talking about.
I just shot it on net, and I was like, wow, like that guy is scary. I think it's going to be very hard for the Islanders to defend him in this series. I'm really excited for the rest of the series. But John, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say, and I'll ask this to both of you. The Islanders are good. I think the Pens are great, personally, the way they've been finishing off this season, coming at the 1 seed. And more than that, I think what the Pens have is experience here. Not the Islanders, not that the Islanders haven't obviously had their, their times, but the Pens have 3 cup wins, right? And those 3 cup wins have come with a lot of the guys that are on this team still. And having at least 2-3 veteran guys who have won 3 cups together on the same team, and a lot of new guys still. But even with the new guys, when the new guys come in, they still have a season. And and the Penguins already scored. So let me just say, wow, it's still early, but let me just say, I know the Islanders took game 1, but
which was huge for them.
But I don't think that. I think it'll go to 7 games. I'm personally going to say I don't think the Islanders will let up that easy, but I think that the Penguins are just going to come out. I don't see the Penguins giving up a game 7 at home, and I don't see the Penguins giving up a series like this. The way that Crosby plays, even with Malkin being, obviously inconsistent in the season, with how he's been doing. Crosby's like Curry. I'm going to make that comparison. He's had that. He's just been finishing strong, and I think that's the type of player he is.
Yeah.
Period.
Definitely. Do you guys want to move on? I know we're reaching up on time.
Yeah, we definitely are.
I think the West is pretty easy. We can finish up.
If you want playoff coverage, I mean, you could go to ESPN. But why wouldn't
you can go to ESPN. You can go to Nesson, but this is where it is right here, baby.
Right here, breaking it down, and we're here. We're here all summer. So, boys, I can't wait for more games to happen so we can discuss the results. It was great talking with you, and if you made it this far, you obviously like something. So, like and subscribe down below.
Subscribe,
boys. It's always an honor and a pleasure, and I'll talk to you guys next week.
And go Celtics!
Yeah,
let's go.
Yes, sir. It's been real, boys. Peace.